26-year-old teacher Jess Khaw took her own life after suffering from severe morning sickness. This is so sad. I've never heard anything like this.
When you're pregnant, you actually pregnant with like an organ or a parasite that feeds off of you. Because I felt like my kids were feeding off of me and killing me. That's what it felt. I don't mean to laugh, especially with the other lady. It's perishing. I felt like my kids were feeding off of me for some reason or some kind of punishment. Because why are other and then my best friend, well, one of my best friends at the time, and I were pregnant at the same time. And when I would text her, she was fine. She was going out, she was living her life. I could not do those things. And then when I was pregnant again with Leslie, my sister was pregnant. And she was also relatively normal. She was fine. But me, I was dying. And you still expect to show up here, do this. Plus, I had a young child and take care of my child. That was so hard.
Vault unlocked.
Diamonds, very sad, very sad, very sad. But I have to talk about this. Oh my gosh. There's a lady that offed herself, right? Because of morning sickness. Guys, how many times have I told you that every time I've been pregnant, even with the pregnancy that I lost, my morning sickness was, it was, never have I ever had a pregnancy that was just easy. Even with the one that I lost, the morning sickness was so bad. And this lady that took herself out of here, I wanted to share this because I know for a fact that nobody, I feel like, except for the people that have experienced it, right? Nobody ever really understood what I was going through. When I was consulting with the private doctors, when I was consulting at the government clinic, nobody understood when I was telling them that I feel like perishing because of this morning sickness. I barely. And I feel like if I am to be blessed again with a child, I'm going to go through it again. Because I went through it with all my pregnancies. And the crazy thing is, that kind of morning sickness, it doesn't go away. But I think as you're about to I think when you get to your last trimester, it eases up. But you're nauseous for 9 months. I used to be curled up in a ball crying. Or sometimes all I could eat was salad and or olives. It was so painful. It's like you're going through a depression, but it's nausea and it doesn't go away. And then you go online and some women say, my nausea has eased up after the first trimester. I'm better now. And then yours doesn't stop. It's you're sick. Some studies show that women that go through this, their kids are going to be healthy, wada. Oh, great for us. We were fortunate in that regard. Mara going through the whole pregnancy. And me, as a South African black woman, I had to just be okay. My mom, my man did everything they possibly could to help me because I was crying every single day. Even when you're sleeping, you're nauseous and you can feel it. And then also it's hard to sleep because of that nausea. Uyagula. My heart goes out to all the women that have experienced it because I know.
Jess was 28 weeks pregnant with her first child. She was in a relationship with the baby's father, and they were both looking super forward to the baby's arrival. Soon after learning of her pregnancy, though, Jess started getting super sick and was eventually diagnosed with something called hyperemesis gravidarum. For those who don't know what that is, it's like morning sickness times 100. I mean, people get very ill from this and oftentimes have to be hospitalized. So Jess goes to the doctor where she gets her diagnosis and the OB gives her some anti-nausea medication to take. Later, though, Jess is talking to her midwife, and the midwife said, don't take it. It could harm the baby. So Jess stopped taking the medication. Before she died, she said she felt like nobody was listening to her. She said, quote, honestly, it's like the hardest thing I've ever gone through in my life. The constant nausea, there's no relief from it. I just spend my days in bed. It's just horrible. On November 14th, 2022, Jess was found at her home in the UK from an apparent suicide attempt. She was rushed to the hospital where doctors delivered the little baby who was only 28 weeks gestation, but she died 4 days later.
Nobody will understand unless you've been through it. People, my gynaes, my family even, would research and stuff. Like, no, have these. I had the ginger lollipops. I had the ginger drinks. When you drink the ginger, yeah, that thing. After you've burped, it's back. It doesn't go away. Doesn't matter what you eat. You can eat vegetables. There was a time where I was just eating salads. And I only wanted woolly salads or olives. The dark olives, not the green ones. Because, I don't know, that sourness, it helped momentarily. But then after that, you have the heartburn and then you have the nausea too. Guys, I can't explain it. Women that have experienced morning sickness, nah? Imagine it never going away. And it never goes away. It's so intense that it messes with your mind. My condolences go out to that lady's family. After that lady ended it all, they delivered the baby. And obviously, I don't know if it was a week or so, but the baby perished as well because she was 20-something weeks pregnant. Right? You see how long it can go, that thing. And now you've got another 20-something weeks to reach 40 or 42 weeks of pregnancy with that nausea. That's why she ended it. I had those thoughts. Ibuhlungu with that thing. I'm so sorry to all the mommies that have ever experienced that. I know your pain. Now here's a story that I'm seeing of a lady that actually ended it all because she couldn't take it. Some of us had to sit through it, go through. And the crazy thing is, with women like that go through this unbearable nausea, right? They'll always find out they're pregnant. You just know the next day. Okay, chill. You know. With all of my pregnancies, I already knew immediately that I was pregnant. So you don't even have I missed my period, or go to the doctor. Yeah, I haven't had my period. Oh, it's been kind of funny. It's been light or whatever. You don't have the grace period of not experiencing that first 3 months, let's say. The next day you already know. Okay, you already know. I don't know why some of us are like that, but I feel like there needs to be more studies about that, because more women are going. Maybe there are other women that we don't even know about that took themselves out. I could have taken myself out. That thing is painful. Some women are beaming and glowing and happy. I had to fake happiness. I was miserable. The only people that knew my misery was my mom and my man. Because I was crying every day. When my man goes to work, I'm on the couch. I'm eating olives. And crying and sleeping all day. Because I couldn't do it. You can't even... Bathing is a problem. And you have to go bath. That's when I started to formulate those ideas or thoughts that when you're pregnant, you're actually pregnant with like an organ or a parasite that feeds off of you, because I felt like my kids were feeding off of me and killing me. That's what it felt. I don't mean to laugh, especially with the other lady. It's perishing. I felt like my kids were feeding off of me for some reason, or was some kind of punishment. Because why are other, and then my best friend, well, one of my best friends at the time, and I were pregnant at the same time. And when I would text her, she was fine. She was going out, she was living her life. I could not do those things. And then when I was pregnant again with Leslie, my sister was pregnant. And she was also relatively normal. She was fine. But me, I was dying. And you still expect to show up here, do this. Plus, I had a young child and take care of my child. That was so hard. All I wanted to do was sleep. Sleeping was hard. Eating was hard. Existing was hard. Don't tell your partners or your family members when they're telling you, my nausea is not normal. They know. Even if it's their first pregnancy, I knew with my first that this is not normal. I'm right. But as a black South African woman, it's just, you must strong, you right, for the child's sake. The child can feel what you're feeling, which is true. And I tried and I tried. And when I felt pregnant again, and I started having morning, I knew from the jump. Lisa was 6 months old when I felt pregnant again. I knew immediately that I was pregnant. And I was like, okay, maybe this time the morning sickness will subside. It didn't. I finished that pregnancy too. Sick. And you find out early because of the sickness. And then third pregnancy, which obviously didn't reach its completion, I was sick. But with that one, I would have carried it through as well, like I did the first two. But it is what it is. I need. So my heart goes out to all the women that go through that. Trust me, there are people like me that understand your pain. And then most of the time, it's women that go through that PBD what that I spoke about once in one of my videos, where your hormones get really messed up every month and you become different. So when you get pregnant, you're gonna become sick. It's so sad that woman, like many of us, those thoughts crossed my mind too. You feel like you're not gonna survive. And then at some point you start thinking, okay, this child is killing me. What kind of baby is this? Why am I like this? Why can't I be happy? Why can't I just be okay? You can't even breathe. This thing is in your throat, it's in your esophagus, your larynx, it's in your lungs, it's in your back. That nausea is different. So mommies out there, if you're going through it right now, hang in there. I did it twice. And you can. Don't end it all like that other lady. I understand why she did it. I really do. It's like nothing I've ever felt. And the only thing you can think about is delivery. You even start to think, I wish my baby was a premature baby. I need to finish this thing now. You want to finish. Please, Lord, just they're premature. It's okay. Just protect them. I need to finish this pain. It's a lot. Is it punishment? What is going on? It's like that. Those thoughts. Oh, it's bad. Those lollipops, that ginger drinks, they gave me nausea pills at the gynae. And then also they gave me nausea pills at the clinic when I explained, because they know, they nurses and doctors, they know. Some of them know to that extent. They didn't help. They don't help. The one thing I did research about was sleeping tablets. There's an ingredient in there. And I tried. Because apparently it's like really prevalent in in America. It did help. But you can't continuously take them. Especially in the early phases, the development of the child. And then also there's a time period in the second trimester where you shouldn't be taking it. Even in the third trimester, You only get a little bit of grace. And now, as a mommy, you're gonna be paranoid to be taking sleeping pills, but they do help. Crazy enough. I don't advise you guys to go and do that. And also, make sure you have a good gynae that can explain these things to you. Because if you're going to take that method, your gynae needs to, it needs to be timed. It needs to be very precise. Even the dosage has to be precise. Do you see how desperate I got? Sure, you guys don't know. Yo! So I can understand the desperation of that lady that took herself out. I forgive her. People must forgive her. Her family must forgive her. You don't understand. She couldn't. Not everybody can. But also because I had already had a child, and I always thought to myself, there's nothing worse in life than childbirth. Mara, that nausea. Okay, there's nothing worse than childbirth. The pain. Mara, that nausea of feeling constantly sick for 9 months. Other women then have it even worse than me because they vomit constantly. I used to pray for vomit. I never used to do it myself because that's just, vomit scares me, guys. It's a lot, right? But I used to pray, can I just vomit? Maybe if I vomit, then I will feel better. Never came out. Not a day. Not a single day. Yo, when I saw the story, guys, I had to tell you guys about it. It broke my heart because I know. And then now, then I didn't even know the terms of what it was called. Now they have a term, it's a thing. I didn't know like that. I don't think the information was out there like that. Sure. May her soul rest in peace, her and her baby. Unfortunately, she took that. It's not even the easy way out, guys. You don't get it. Like, oh, that thing is bad. It's not a normal nausea. It's the worst thing. It's like punishment for 9 months. Can you imagine? And then other people around you will be like, but come on, it's just morning sickness. It's not. It's different for some of us. I don't know if God was to bless me again. I hope not. I'm okay. You're right. Because I know exactly where I'm going. I know. Yo, I'll need a helicopter. To go keep me sedated for 9 months and then I'll deliver. You can put food in me some way, somehow. That thing is not, guys, it's not right, eh? Yo, condolences. Now you guys know. If you're going through it, you're not the only one. But don't end it all. If I could write it out, okay, I'm a very strong person. But if I could write it out, okay, maybe I'm the worst example because I could write out a lot of things. I've written out, written out a lot of things, but write it out. Don't end yourself because at the end of that tunnel, look at the joy that I have. Look at the joy that I have. Don't end yourself with them. That pain, that nausea, it will all be worth it once you push and you go. All right.